Patagonia is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. Snow-capped mountains, alpine lakes and glaciers and everything in between. It's a geographer's wet dream, and we're going to be taking you through the full 4-day itinerary, the best day hikes, the best viewpoints, the best place to get some JPEGs, some amazing steak, cafes and everything in between. As always, if you have any questions, bang them in the old comments whilst you're down there. Hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. You can make the difference, and let's get straight into it. So we went to San Carlos de Bariloche. I've been mispronouncing that every day, so we're just gonna have to roll with it, which is in like northern Patagonia. Most people will fly to El Catafe and then go to El Chalten. The reason we went here, and this might be useful to yourself if you're on a time-capped trip, you're looking to save a little bit of money. We were in Mendoza. If you want to get to where we went, it's about an hour and 10-minute flight. Super cheap flight, really good logistically. If we wanted to go to like where like the Fitzroy hike is, the Torres del Paine, etc., which is in like the south side, you have to fly back to Buenos Aires, and then you have to fly then from there down to like an hour and a half to 2 hours back to Buenos Aires, or Buenos Aires. I need to get that locked in because we've got 12 days in the capital after this. So yeah, 2-hour flight back, and then about a 3.5 hour, 4-hour flight down to El Catafe, and then you have a 2.5 hour coach journey then over to El Chalten, which obviously logistically is a nightmare. We're going to lose 2 days, and it was going to cost us, I think, £1,500 each to do that, or obviously where we've come here has probably worked out about a third or a half on that side. So saving a lot of money. Logistically, we saved 2 days, and it's been absolutely beautiful. I don't know too many people who've been here. I would highly recommend it. One of the good things is about here, you don't need a car for any of the hikes. So if you want to go out into the wilderness multiple days, you're going to need a car. But you can just stay in the center and then go out on different day hikes, which I'm going to discuss. One thing I've learned this year, I love pushing the boundaries, pushing the VO2 max, pushing the cardio, and getting into the wilderness. Super difficult hikes. However, at the end of the day, I want to come back, shower, change, rest, recuperate. I'm not about that. Camping up a mountain for multiple days. Maybe you are. There are loads of opportunities to do that here, but this offers a buzzing town centre with loads of cafes, bars, restaurants. You're on a beautiful lake, and then within like, you can do hikes from the centre of town, and then you can also do some which are like 10-15 minutes in a taxi. So you save loads of money on like renting a car, and it's just an absolute active little place. So in terms of our Airbnb, it is a lovely little joint. We're about 15 minutes at a time because we had a nightmare booking this last minute. We had 2 places cancel on us, but yeah, we paid about £40 per night between us. It does sleep up to 4 people, 1 in the main bedroom and then 2 on these like huge single beds. Insane water pressure, shower, obviously you can drink all the tap water here, and loads of space. Crazy internet, it's like 150 megabytes, upload, 40 download, something like that, or the opposite way around. Either way, the internet's absolutely banging. It's a good little joint, would highly recommend, and you also get a parking space if you did want to have a car, but personally for me, I would recommend not getting a car. It's cheaper to just get taxis each day and get around it. The waterfront here in Bariloche is absolutely stunning. I'm not coming out here saying it's golden sand beaches, but it's a pebble beach. But the water is absolutely crystal clear. It is stunning. So yeah, would highly recommend the town, would highly recommend the surrounding area, but that's kind of why we chose here over the more standard Instagrammable route. And you know, on this channel, we're all about our JPEGs and Insta spots, but this has far exceeded expectations. So we've done 3 major hikes here. We had 4 full days. We had a little rest day after day 2. So on day 3, we had a little rest day, got into the town. I'm going to recommend a few food places for you. But the 3-day hikes we did, firstly we did Refugio Frey, which was the most difficult of the 3 hikes, 18.8 kilometers. Brutal uphill. So it's about a 25-minute taxi, so it costs us about £14 each way, so obviously like £14 each to go there and back. So when that's your only expense of the day because you're hiking, pretty economical. You can get the bus to pretty much every hike, and you can also hitchhike. Loads of people are doing that. Do you know what I mean? The bus goes without saying, it's cheaper, but it's less efficient. You got to go to a stop, and you do need to buy a card first and top money up on it. So you know me and them, the bougie backpackers, we just get taxis to the start and then just attack the old hike. The walk itself, it was like 2 hours, I'd say slightly uphill, and then an hour and a half brutal uphill, pounding against the rocks through the woodland like something of Lord of the Rings, Rivendell. Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. And then when you get to the top, Refugio Frey opens up in front of you. The stunning mountain, snow-capped, and probably got some of the best drone videos I've ever taken. The sun was just glistening on the water again. The water up there, if it's crystal clear in the center of town, guess what it is at the top of the mountain? It's crystal clear, baby. Like, absolutely gorgeous. One of the best views that I've seen in a long, long time. Reminiscent of a hike we did up in Andorra, Switzerland, and very much just reminding me of like European ski towns. And that's kind of one of the things as well about Bariloche is like, when you walk round, I just feel as if I'm in like a European ski town, Val Thorens, or when we've been to Andorra, or even like Switzerland, where me and Crab went and did some hiking the year before last. But yeah, absolutely stunning. Would highly recommend that. It is a bit more difficult, but I think it's worth it. I like a hike. When you earn the view, it tastes so much sweeter. When it's been a really tough hike, one, you generally get less people up there, but two, I just think, do you know what I mean, that nectar. When you've worked out all week, when you've done a hard run, a hard workout, and you take that first sip of Guinness into the old bones, chef's kiss, it is banging. So yeah, that is a tough one. You can camp up there. I don't know why you would, unless you were doing a multi-day hike through the mountains. Most people were doing the hike up on one day, camping, and then coming back down. Me and them did it in one day, super slow. We set off at like 12 o'clock. Obviously it's summertime here in January. So yeah, the sun doesn't set till like 9:30 at night. Get up, get down, get back to a comfy bed, shower, change, and in the mix for the next day. I did a hike from the centre of town up to Cerro Otto. Again, I think this is a super easy hike. You kind of walk up the road, so the only negative, actually it's two negatives. One, there's cars passing, just a little bit dusty, but easy route to follow. You can walk from the centre of town. This is about 7.5k up, 7.5k down. The views after the first 25% are spectacular. You see multiple of the different alpine lakes. You can see on the valley on the other side, 360-degree panoramic views at the top. Great JPEGs, great photos. And it's nice when you're walking up the whole way to see and capture the view, whereas Refugio Frey, like you only got the view when you were right at the top. The rest of it, you're just walking in trees, looking at your feet as you go up the mountain. The other slight negative on this is that, I guess it might be a positive, depending on who you are, is that there's a teleferico that runs to the top, so it's a little bit more commercial at that top bit, and it's a little bit busy. We always talk about, as I said before, earning that view, earning the viewpoint, and it tastes so much sweeter. People are just getting the teleferico up, which for me is the things you hate to see, but you know what I mean? If it's not your bag, hiking, if you want a little bit of a rest day, but you want to get some naughty views, then yeah, this is absolute top draw. And we also talk a lot about like the hike, the severity of the hike to view ratio. This was super, super high. However, it was beaten, I'd say, today. Me and Em did a hike. We saw this online, like this viewpoint, and it's stunning. It wasn't as sunny today. We set off and it was like partially raining. We're like, oh no, we're going to be walking in the rain. Forgot all our waterproofs. Absolute rookie mountaineers. But the last hike we did is Cerro Otto. Couldn't get the drone up here because it was super, super windy. Don't know why my voice has gone, why we're saying windy. But the views were gorgeous. 3 kilometers up, 3 kilometers down. I'd say fairly gentle. I would say this is a super, super easy hike. 1 in severity and 2 obviously in time. But the little hiking you do, for how good the viewpoint is, for me, one of the best ratios of that I've ever seen in the entire world. Again, you're probably talking 180-degree views here. We had one side where the mountains, you had like the snow caps, the peaks, and it's kind of like raining and all misty in the distance. We had like a middle channel or like part of the lake that looked like one of the fjords over in Norway, like nearly perfectly still, and we're saying like it literally looked like a postcard. And then the other side where like it's a little bit more exposed, the sun was coming down, the wind was beating across, and yeah, again, that was absolutely beautiful. So they're the 3 hikes I'd recommend. If you ask me to pick one, it's very hard, because I always think I would say the first one, because I think it's more remote, you're more in the wilderness, and it's harder. I think there's more of a sense of achievement. If you're looking for the best walk to view ratio, I'd do one of the other 2, because they're super, super easy, but that's just me. 3 places to eat in the town centre. The king, she doesn't miss on booking.com, Airbnb, and she also does not miss when finding food joints. So we went to a place called Chile, which is like a local type restaurant. I got the deer, which I'd give a good 7, 8 out of 10. Crazy amount of meat in there. That was like, I can't think of the bloody word off the top of my head now. We'll just roll with it. It was decent. The other part, which was absolutely scintillating, was the old bolognese. And then it was like, kind of like parcels of pasta stuffed with just cheese and meat and just absolute naughtiness. So yeah, would highly recommend going there. Em was on like the chicken escalope. Even when I've got this in Argentina, it's just so big. I've even got it in Paraguay as well. Like, it literally comes on it is too big. The portion, it's too big for me. Em got for about half of it, and then I gave a bit more of it a go. But I'd already ordered 2 meals myself, so that's kind of a bit more like a mid-price place. If you want something a little bit more upmarket, a little bit more premium, this place comes highly recommended from my good friend, Mr. Bobby Lowe, who's been giving us sensational recommendations across South America. He does live in Buenos Aires, so, you know, we expect these things in the Argentina region. But Alto El Fuego, one of maybe the best meals I've ever had, definitely the best meal in Argentina. We obviously went with the staples, the blood sausage, the chorizo to start. It came with some homemade focaccia bread, a little bit of chimichurri, and then a bean ceviche, which was the starter, the precursor to the main course, the main man himself, another 500 gram ribeye steak. Absolutely banging, so much flavour. And for me, this is what I always struggle with when we cook steaks, like getting that real charring on the outside, but keeping that middle so soft, so succulent. And for me, I'm always a ribeye fan, and we actually converted the king to the ribeye. She was like, she might actually get one. We're going to go back tonight. It was that good. Yeah, in there, great service, good atmosphere. They have a little wine cellar, wine bar downstairs. But yeah, absolutely banging. Little food, and then we went to El Molinito. If you're looking for a little cafe, anyone that knows the king, aka Emma King, aka the missus, her favourite is always something to do with lemon, and we got a lemon pie. And you know, it's not usually my favourite, it's not usually my go-to, but it was a straight 10 out of 10. Like the density of like the base, along with like the lemon bit, but then the softness and the lightness of like the cream on top. Absolutely outrageous flavour combinations, and the coffee in there was banging as well. So I'd highly recommend all 3 of those. I think in general, like me and Em have said this, Argentina's already shaping up to be our favourite country in South America, and one of my probably top 5 countries in the entire world. We've not even been to the old capital yet. Obviously, if you're watching this, first time watching, we've got 5 vlogs out on Mendoza, all the best vineyards and places to go there, and obviously all the days. I do a day vlog every single day. So if you want to see what we're up to in the moment, I'll have done one on all the days in Patagonia as well. A little bit more vlog style, a little bit more off the cuff, a little bit more casual. So go back and check those out. But yeah, for me, Patagonia, Bariloche, straight 10 out of 10. Great people, great atmosphere. And actually on the people, this is a huge like bonus. I always say this, it reminds me of the north of England. You go on a hike anywhere and every single person says hello to you. They're saying ciao, hello, they're saying buen dia, buenas. I don't even know whether I'm coming or going. One person I say buenas to, then they're saying ciao, then they're saying hola. Who knows what's happening, but they're all super friendly. So yeah, for me, the people, the food, the hikes, as I said before, the day hikes for me accentuate things. I love getting into the wilderness, but at the end of the day, I just want that. It doesn't even need to be luxury, just a nice shower. It doesn't need to be too hot, semi-warm, semi-comfy bed, and you know what I mean, that is a happy gas, right? If you do want a little bit more of a loose hiking destination, go to Guatemala, again on the channel, Guatemala, Acatenango volcano hike and sunrise hike, where it's exactly what it says on the tin. Me, and my mum, who's in the over 60 club, hiked an active volcano and slept on it. It literally goes off every single 10 minutes, which is pretty mental. This was a brutal hike. You camped on a mountain and one of the most gorgeous sunrises I've ever seen. So that'll be on the channel down below. Buenos Aires up next, and I would say it as well, like I've called Buenos Aires my entire life, so to reprogram my brain to say that, I'm going to misstep on all those vlogs. But come back tomorrow, the day after, there'll be plenty of content in the old capital. Questions, as always, in the comments. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you tomorrow, babe. Mem, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.